Welcome to City Skylines and the city of Portmont. What I want to do in this video is go through the few outstanding unique buildings, talk about how they can be unlocked. Also, I want to talk a little bit about monuments, but the game is currently on pause because if you look in the top left hand corner here, you can see that we've got a 9.5 meteorite coming in, but it's going to hit over here, so it shouldn't be that big a problem. So maybe I can let the game run, but I just didn't want the distraction of this whilst I was actually trying to do an overview of the missiles. And then after I've done the review of the unique buildings and monuments, what I would like to do is push forward to try and get to a population of 300,000. Now before we talk about distinct buildings, I want to show you this. If you watched the previous video, you saw that I had quite a big traffic build up here, and what I've actually done is I've put the main highway under the cloverleaf to take away the risk of the traffic here having to deal with all these closely packed junctions. So that's what I've actually done. You can see it's still not perfect because the game has a little bit of a traffic management issue here. I think it will sort itself out eventually. In fact, that's a two-way highway. I'm not sure why I've got that as a two-way highway. I'm just going to put that back and do what it was before. I think that should be okay. That's three-way. That's, yeah, I think that's flowing a little bit better. So let's just get into looking at the unique buildings. There aren't many left to unlock. I'm going to start from this end. Now the Eiffel Tower requires 30,000 squares of industrial zone to be built. You can see we've got just over 20,000, so we're 2/3 of the way there. Now this is a bit of a grind now that you've got the higher DLC options. Oh, here comes the meteorite. See if it will affect my...
Meteor strike has occurred.
Yeah, thank you.
Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
I think we got away with that because it hasn't hit the power station. Of course, this road is just a road. Forest fires will be dealt by my helicopter brigade. So getting back to the Eiffel Tower, I think to unlock that, what I will probably need to do is convert some of my industrial areas here to dirty industries. As you can see over here, what I've got is some clean industry. I think that's industry, isn't it? Yeah, that's okay. That's, why is that lower down than that? That's interesting. Come on, I'll take it. So yeah, to unlock this, effectively I'm going to push up that industry, and it's going to be a bit of a grind, and which is, I don't know how long. Let's go, and from the perspective of this city, it's going to be a little bit of a balance between how much longer I can go on before the population and the lag kills my machine, and how much I can add on more industry. I mean, I could put in a new forest area somewhere. We got a forest area over here. We could create a forestry village over here and then feed that maybe in across here. So that could be an option, because of course the base forestry counts as industry. So we could unlock this tile here. In fact, I think I'll do it while I'm looking at it. So we've got, so if I unlock these tiles here, we got a rail line here, so we could put a rail line in and connect that up. So that's one way we can deal with that. Now the next one is the Amsterdam Palace. You can see this just involves putting down lots of service buildings. That is just to keep plonking down lots of police stations, medical centres all over the city, and just keep plonking them down till you get to 600. So that could be something you can do. Something I might do as I go forward. And again, it's just a question of grinding it. And if you want to do it in a proper way, so each building has a use, then it's a question of just grinding it out until you get to the 600. And then I think this one's finished, this one's finished, this one's finished. We've got media broadcast buildings, and we've got, what we got here, this the arch. We've got this over. No, so I'll have to, I think this will go over a normal road. I can find a normal road. No, it doesn't. Space already occupied. Okay. Oh, there it is there. So we'll go over some roads. I mean, we could be a bit cynical and put it there. Actually, what we could do is just put it here. If we can and get it back. Put it there maybe. And we can just hook in. We could put some building here that will hook it through. Actually, what we could do is put that there, that, and what we could do is create a service road off of here, like that, and then just put a park in, say a small park like that, and then that will hook through, and just hook that in there. And we could just put a small footpath. I mean, what would be an episode of this video if we didn't have a footpath there? So we've now put this in here. This is our city arch, welcomes people to the city. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, that's a little bit of a distraction. And going up now, we've got what we got here. Transport tower. Maybe we can plant a few of these as we go along. Questions put, where can we put this in? Yeah, this is the downside of unique buildings, is the fact that they do tend to be quite big. Maybe we'll just drop that in there, and that might actually, yeah, that produces a hook line through there. And you can see here we could put a little bit more industry in here. Maybe we'll just put that through like that. A little bit of industry there and there. I know it looks a bit out of place having that there transport tower there, but it is near a transport hubs, so why not? And moving on, we've got lungs of the city. Now we're wanting to build that in a little while, but we'll put that somewhere else. Let's just have a quick check. Sometimes you've got to just put them over here. And we've got the sea fortress, massive block fortress built next to the shores. Can we put this over here? Maybe pull some tourists in. And we've got, this is our coastal area here. Of course, it's going to need a road attached in like that. Of course, there's no power lines, so I don't really want to put in more cables. So if we put that in there, that'll hook through. Just put that in, put the sea fortress in, that'll attract a. This is a passenger terminal here, so that might give more reasons for the set. Going back to where we were. Now we're on to, and we got 300 library users in the city, so we could easily drop some libraries to improve that. Now comes the awkward unique buildings, which you cannot do within a single playthrough of a city. This is got to win 3 scenarios. Now, when this was first introduced, you had to win the 3 disaster scenarios, but now there's a wider range of scenarios like the traffic scenarios. So it is possible, say if you do Floodland, you do need to do Floodland, because if I'm coming here, you've got to win the Floodland scenario to unlock the Rainbow Unicorn Park. So you might as well do Floodland, and I think there's one, and then probably another easy one to do would be Fix the Traffic, which is what this map is based on. And then I think there's one in Green Cities where you've got to build a environmentally friendly city. So you can actually get these 3 scenarios relatively easily now without having to do the great big one like island hopping. Island hopping was a really big, complicated scenario to do, and it's fun, but one problem with island hopping now is that the map has become very dated, and this is one of the problems with the disaster scenario maps, that they don't have the resources and layout to accommodate some of the new DLC stuff. So effectively, say to win Floodlands, you are almost playing the vanilla game. So let's move on to the monuments. There are quite a few monuments in. Now, if you're trying to unlock unique buildings, be very careful about which one of these monuments you put out, because there are some in here, I can find them, where it will distort your city. I mean, say there's one here, the medical centre's not too bad, but there's one that relates to education, if I can find it. There's an impressive castle where every significant city there, its global entertainment value is 100, increases the attractions all unique buildings by 25%. Now this one can affect your industrial areas. So again, it's very much a late game one, and you can see we need to construct the lungs of the city. Then you've got this one here, it says all shelters, stockpiles, more food and water. So this is very much related to if you are playing with disasters and building lots of shelters. And then we got worry about education. This is one, Hadron Collider here, is something you don't want to put out if you are still building up a university. So like for example, my university over here is leveled up, but we don't have the attractiveness yet. In fact, we need some more academic works, but I can't do them. So what we can do is just work on, I think this is an engineering college, isn't it? I think it's the engineering college. I can't remember what this one is actually, it's now. Yeah, it's a trade school, so what we can do is push this up a little bit and see what we've got in the way of buildings. We've got a trade school fountain, we can probably put that in that corner there, and we've got a cafeteria. It would be nice to put the police academy in. Can we improve anything else here? Put another study hall in. Maybe over here, right opposite the police academy. Let's see if we've now reached. No, we've got another 150 to put in. What we could do is just push this road out like that, come across like that. These are the halls of residence here. School gymnasium, where we could put that. Here, the halls of residence. Proper hint to the students to get fit. A book club, we could probably just. Well, it won't do it. We could put the book club in about there. Nice big outdoor study area here. We get that. Will that fit there? Yeah, I think that will fit there. And have we reached? No, we need another 10. Trade school, cafeteria. I mean, we could get in another hall of residence there. And we've now got the maximum number of students. What we just need now is some academic works for that. So, so returning to what I was saying, that you don't really want to put this in while you're building up these universities level 5. And we've got the Eden project, so that says reduces pollution. This could be quite a useful one to get if you are really pushing the industry. And so we need a bit more residential. Whoops, we've got over here. Got a bit of an issue here. Just about 440 and just pull that in. Now I've literally built up the full extent on this side of the city, and this area is growing quite well, though we've got a bit of a garbage problem by of it. I'm not sure. And we could put in over here. We can have a dirty city anyway, so we might as well just let it grow. And probably I think from a population point of view, we can't grow this area anymore. You can probably grow out this area a little bit more, although I am a little bit worried about the extent of how far we're pushing this out now. So we really do need another city or expansion here. Maybe if we just come across like that, like that, and we can just sort of high density there. Got the water for it there, so that should just suck up a little bit of that requirement there. And we've got industry there. We could put a little bit of industry up here just for the funsies of it, because this area is now redundant. So the problem with this area is that if we put too much industry up here, we'll cause excessive traffic. So I don't really want to put too much industry up here. Maybe we'll just put in a little bit of a road there, and if it gets too much, I can always take it out again, because what will happen is the industry will come down through here, this area here, and I don't need that anymore, so that can go. Now returning to this here, we've got the medical centre. This is a good one to put in, say about now in the city, simply because what this will have is a city-wide effect on health, and that should push up the population. That should have a positive effect on any residential areas or areas that are still expecting to grow. Question is, where am I going to put it? It's a really big building, and I'd like to get it in the centre here, but there we are. Now if I can zoom out and we'll drop it in, you watch. I mean, it can be real fun putting these monuments out. You'll see it literally grows right out like that. I suppose it does fit up here. And that's our first monument there. And what you will probably see here is lots of dinging. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the audio, but what's actually happening now is, like areas here, you will see that the increased land value, you can see it's already pushing up the areas here, and we can put a bit more residential in here. You can see everything leveling up across the board here. In fact, I'm not sure why I've got that there, and I think what we're going to do is just delete these. And you can see the population is surging a little bit. We're losing some money, but that shouldn't be too big a problem. And if we get back to unique buildings, Statue of Colossus increases the attractiveness and value of the buildings. Lungs of the City. Now I can't remember where Lungs of the City is. That's Central Park. Here's the Colossus. Let's just put the Colossus in. And maybe we can fit the Colossus in over here. And we've got the Statue of Liberty there. That's going to be affected. I think we can put the Colossus maybe just in here. And of course he's going to need a road and water. And this will just make everything a little bit more attractive over here. We've got water here anyway. And of course we need power. And I think rather than put parks in, I think what we could do is just put something like that here, like that. And just check the zoning. Just drop that down a little bit. We push the zoning out this way, like this. I think, not sure. What is this? This is commercial. Well, what we're going to do is just put some commercial down in the center here, like this. And take out that. Yeah, we're just going to let this expand out this way, and maybe we'll give it a little bit of a nudge with, say, by putting that in. We've now got the Colossus tucked up on the end here like this, welcoming people to the city. And back to, of course, what that does is now that's opened up this here. It says Castle of Lord Chirpwick. And it says, well, I can't see why we can't put that. Actually, what's that actually look like? Can we put this up on? Must be placed roadside. Got a castle here. Let's see if we can find somewhere where we can give Lord Chirpwick a mountain top to sit on. We've got the observatory here. And we've got this area here. If we get a road up, well, that's way too steep, isn't it? Got the golf course here. And we've got this area here, but that's actually got a castle on it. It's got a castle on that peak there. This is quite open, so we could put Lord Chirpwick up.
Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will strike
thank
the
you,
city in
gang.
the near future. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
So we're going to put Lord Chirpwick up here. And of course, he's going to need water. Of course, you can see he's having an immediate effect right across the city because he's got no power again. And again, I just don't want to put power lines in everywhere. So again, we're going to give him a nice approach here. So if we it's annoying, but what we'll do is we'll put in and we'll give them a bandstand as well. And of course, by putting these out, that should improve. What is it? 600 buildings. So we're now up to 463. It looks like the meteorite is going to hit here, just near poor old Lord Chirpwick's castle. Fine. I actually like this castle. It looks pretty cool, actually. I think putting it on top of a mountain like this makes it quite attractive. And I say, I mean, having the small playgrounds up here doesn't make it exactly look like a stately home, but it takes it in the right direction. And we're back to trying to find the lungs of the city. I work backwards. Sparkly unicorn. In any three scenarios. Here's the ziggurat garden. I can hear the meteor. Here comes the meteor. I mean, considering the size of the
strike has occurred.
Thank you.
Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
I mean, to be honest, considering the size of the city, we're getting quite lucky. Where can we put this? I mean, we could put this over here. Place roadside. If we put this here, that will have should have an impact on the city here. Oh, it's not, didn't have the impact I was hoping for, but I think it fits in there with the trees in the background. And we could expand the forestry out that way. Of course, that means we should now. Oops. Now, of course, this is one of the problems with when you build these buildings, is that you put one thing out and then it says you need to create something else, and I've actually lost track of where it was. Hadron Aquarium. We need an aquarium for that. Pyramid of Safety. Construct it. Ultimate recycling plant. We need the ziggurat garden now. Okay. Where can we put this in? We could put this in. Where's my... Wow. It is really stuttering a little bit now. I mean, we could put this up here. It's got a little bit of noise attached to it. Or we could put it... We've got the building there. Actually, we could put it over here, couldn't we? If I extend this out a little bit this way, and we can take this through to there like that. We could put the rat just in here. next close to the zoo, and then that will have come back to here. Pyramid of safety. This is construction ultimate. So we've now got to construct Central Park. We'll find Central Park now. Now Central Park is really, really big. In fact, I'm kind of, where could I put this? And it's going to need a big, really big flat area. I mean, that would really boost up this area here, but it's got noise. That actually, could we fit this in here? Just check. If I pick it, if I hook this right, actually I can probably get rid of this radio mast. Yeah. And if we hook up this, and we can move this somewhere else, because it's flood control. Then what we could do is get Central Park in there. You can see we've got a road connection right through the center, so we could hook up the road to there. I don't want to take the road right through because I don't want to create another rat run. And that will now fit in. Again, you can hear the benefits to this area. And I really should pull these power stations out, but I actually quite like the idea of them being up on the hill here. Now you can see now we've now unlocked the ultimate recycling plant. Power output 60 watt, garbage capacity 100. So where can we put this? Where? I mean, we've got this city over here. This actually looks like it has got a bit of a garbage problem. So where can we put this? How big is this footprint? Yeah, wow, it's pretty big. Maybe it's a little bit too big for this part. I mean, we've got this area here, which probably could do with some space already occupied. Yep. I mean, we could put it out here. Garbage reserves 100,000. It's probably really in the wrong place, but I mean, it's not like the city actually does have a garbage problem. What we got here? Yeah, it's these small buildings, not enough educated workers. Sometimes it just doesn't pay to have these small buildings tucked in here. Now we've made progress on the monuments. I know some of you may dispute over my placement of these items, but I think this is one of the problems when you're putting out monuments. They can be a bit difficult to slot into your city, especially if the city is well built and stable. So we've now got a few of these in. Space Expo Center, fusion power plant, offers huge amounts of clean energy, and we need a science site of that. Maybe we could create a little bit of a science park up here, although I would like to press some of this stuff into as industrial, but then do I need to? And we could put a science center out here if I can find it. Theatre of Wonders, Museum of Modern Arts. Here, Cathedral of Plentitude. We got here, Expo Center. Well, we could put the Expo Center up here. Let's put that about there. and that will push up this university. And what we could do is over here, we've got here academic library. Well, we do need to sort that library out. Grand library, what's this? Requirements to build an hadron collider. We've got aquarium. We've used up all these buildings. These are all built. So, a media broadcast building. What does this do? It attracts people to see its impressive broadcast style. Also increases the effectiveness of active advertisement campaigns. Music club. People enjoy the local music culture all year round, even when there's no bands playing. Increases. Well, this is a university, so we could put a music club in here. Why not? And I just want to find the science building. Laboratory, Opera House. What we got here? Grand Library. I don't really want to put that out just yet. What we got here? And I think what we can. And now our university is now leveled up. Renowned previous year. I can't remember. I think this is one. This is the trade school. So I think we can put the science center there. And while we're here, we can. So our university has now leveled up, and we can work on that in the next part. I want to check here. What's this here? We got space elevator, construct opera house, museum of modern art, Eden project, construct business park. I think the Eden project is really good as well because that reduces all your pollution in the city, making the city more valuable. So we could see if I can find the business park in here. This is the business park. We can drop this in somewhere. In fact, I think the business park would probably fit in over here. If I can find the. Wow, looks like we've got a death wave over here. And garbage problems. Let's just get the. I think the business park could probably fit in. Wow, here. Like that. Just check the health here. And I think this could probably do. In fact, what we could do is put some garbage collection up here. It is a. And that can filter down into this area. And Opera House, modern art, Cathedral of Plentitude. So we now need the Cathedral of Plentitude. I actually know what that looks like. There it is there. Oops. No point having a building if you can't hook it up to water. And this is going to have a noise factor associated with it. Well, we don't have much over here in the way of special buildings. Let's just have a quick check. Yeah, we could drop the Cathedral of Plentitude in here. We can find some space for it. Just drop it there on that corner. I mean, it will attract a little bit of congestion, should it? But it should be okay. And we're still going. There's the. We've now got to construct the services. Now, just to finish this video up, the last thing I want to work on is this academic library. So we need more library users. So I think we can solve that by public libraries. Well, where have we got public libraries? A public library there, public library over here. We got a little bit of a death wave in here. We're just getting. Well, we got. This should be dealing with it. What's up with you? Why aren't you? Okay, maybe you need some help here. So if we put another one over there, that should help. Get back to here. And the public library. You need a public library. We get one. Right, we can drop a public library there. You can see, and we could probably get another one here, and maybe we'll just put one out here like that. Any other gaps around? You could probably benefit from one up here as well. Maybe we can just drop one in there, and that should give us more than enough to push through to this, because we only needed about another 70 people in public libraries. And you can see now we've now passed a population of 300,000, and the city is growing pretty well. But this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.